We usually think that feeling completely exhausted comes from big, obvious problems, right? Like stress from work, relationship drama, money worries. But what about those times when you feel absolutely drained, even though on the surface, everything seems fine?
That's the big question we're tackling in this explainer. And I'm guessing you've probably asked yourself this before. You look around, your life is actually pretty good, but you just feel so tired. Let's figure out why.
So to be clear, we're not talking about a time in your life when there's a huge crisis happening. Things are generally stable. There's no giant fire you're trying to put out every single day.
And it's not some sudden emergency that's sucking up all your energy and attention either. The bills are paid, the family's doing okay, and yet that feeling of fatigue is just there. It's real.
Is this nagging, constant, low-level feeling of being completely and totally drained? It's a weariness deep in your bones that a good night's sleep just doesn't seem to fix. So if it's not our circumstances, then what on earth is it?
While the answer lies in something we can call the invisible load. It's an internal system that's working overtime, totally behind the scenes, without you even realizing it.
And that system, deep down inside your body, is relentlessly asking one single question, over and over and over again. Is something about to go wrong? It asks this even when everything is perfectly okay.
So, let's put a name to this thing. What we're really talking about is your body's threat detection system. The best way to think about it is like a super sensitive alarm that is just always on. Now, this isn't some made-up concept. It's a real biological system rooted in parts of your brain like the amygdala and the brainstem. And its entire job, its only job really, is to keep you alive by constantly scanning your environment for any hint of potential danger.
And here's the really wild part. This system pretty much runs on autopilot, way below your conscious awareness. It's what's managing your heart rate, the tension in your muscles, and even how you breathe, all without you having to think about it for a second.
In the world we live in today, having this system switched on all the time creates a very specific kind of stress. It isn't loud or dramatic, it's much more like a constant, quiet hum in the background of your life.
Let's just compare the two for a second. Acute stress, that's like a lion chasing you. The danger is obvious, right? It causes panic. It kicks in your fight or flight response. But this low-grade chronic stress, it's totally different. The threat is invisible, which creates this feeling of constant readiness, a background tension that just never seems to go away.
You can actually feel this hum in your own body if you just pause and pay attention. Check in with yourself right now. Are your shoulders kind of tense, creeping up towards your ears? Is your jaw tight? Are you taking shallow breaths high up in your chest? Those are the clues.
So all of this constant state of readiness, it creates what you can think of as a slow, steady energy leak. Your body is burning resources 24/7, preparing for a problem that isn't actually there. And that is why you feel so drained. See, our nervous system was designed to be incredibly efficient. It follows a really simple three-step cycle. First, you see a danger. Second, you act on it. You fight it or you run away. And third, and this part is absolutely critical, your body enters a recovery phase to get all that energy back. But here's the core of the whole problem. In modern life, with all its invisible stressors and constant little alerts from our phones and emails, we get stuck. We are always in that state of readiness to act, but we never really get the all-clear signal that the danger has passed, so we never fully enter that recover phase.
And what does being stuck there actually feel like? Well, you feel mentally tired, like your brain is trying to move through sludge. You feel emotionally flat, like you just can't quite feel real joy or excitement. And you feel physically heavy, like you're walking around with a weighted vest on all day.
This also explains something that is so frustrating for so many of us. Why rest doesn't feel restful anymore. You take a vacation, you get 8 hours of sleep, but you wake up feeling just as tired as when you went to bed.
And that's because even when you consciously decide to stop working or go on a holiday, that inner alarm system is still active. Your mind might be resting, but your body is still on high alert, burning through your energy reserves even while you're lying on a beach. So here's the key takeaway, the big insight. For so many of us, the problem isn't our busy schedule. It's not about time management. The problem is that our internal baseline, our body's default setting, has shifted from rest to quiet alert. And that brings us to what is maybe the most important part of this entire explainer. If this feeling of being tired for no reason sounds familiar to you, it is so important that you understand this. It is not your fault.
This feeling is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign that your biological survival system is working perfectly, exactly as it was designed to. It's just doing it in a world it wasn't really designed for.
You are not lazy. You're carrying an invisible load, a biological weight that is constantly draining your energy day in and day out, without your permission.
And most important of all, you are not broken. Your nervous system has simply learned to live in a state of high alert because it's trying to protect you. It's a feature, not a bug, that's just been turned up way too high for way too long.
So, I want to leave you with a question to really think about. Now that you understand where this invisible load comes from, take a moment and ask yourself, what does it truly feel like for you to be on all the time? Because just recognizing it, that's the very first step.